Welcome to the Comic Scoop Weekly Review for May 11th, 2022. I got 4 brand new #1 issues here, and a couple other ones. My main focus will be on the 4, but yeah, let's crack into this. Alright, the first #1 issue I want to spotlight is 8 Billion Genies, coming out of Image Comics. This is written by Charles Soule, who I'm more familiar with his work he's done within Star Wars, whether it be Darth Vader or the High Republic. I've enjoyed his work, and he's a pretty interesting guy. I've met him once before when a few years ago, and that's when I got into his Darth Vader series. I'd show you guys that right now, but I actually have no idea where that one is, unfortunately. But yeah, so Charles Soule, and done by really great artwork from Ryan Brown, who is mostly known for his work in Curse Words as one of the co-creators. So 8 Billion Genies. It's, the art is really nice. I like it a lot. We start off with this bar, the Lamp Wick, and we have these different lives kind of coming together. We find this drunk of a father, passed out in a mess on his son's birthday, of all days. While this is happening, we have this 3-person band setting up for a gig, and it's revealed that the drummer very much fancies the bassist. And that's kind of like the setup for these folks. And while this is happening, we get to see, I guess, a birth on the other side of the world in Paris. And suddenly, everyone around the world gets their very own genie. Hence the name 8 Billion Genies, for 8 billion people of the world. Now, it's pretty simple. They state that each person in the world has their own genie. And they all are granted 1 wish, not 3, just 1. And I really like this part right here. Be careful when you make your wish, for your intention will be reflected in how it is fulfilled. As anyone would know anything about genies, they're pretty tricky, and so I kind of like that little disclaimer there. So, what can they do for us? So, without a second thought, the owner of this bar makes his first wish, and he wishes that no wish made outside the bar will affect the bar itself or anyone or anything within it. And I really like this part right here, where it's like, alright, we're introduced to the genies and what they're about. Boom. First 8 seconds of this happening, we show the world as we know it, and there's the glow of the genies all around it. Human population, 8 billion. Genie population, the same. So, the bartender makes his first wish. Poof, there goes the first genie. Next page, first 8 minutes. The Earth is no longer what we are familiar with. It is a cube and not a sphere. And there's a couple of very clear explosions on both sides there. And what do we got? 1 less human being in the world, and 2 less genies. Peculiar. We move on to the rest of the characters. The basis of the story makes the wish that their guitarist would fall in love with her right after her other bandmate was confessing his love to her, which is kind of awkward. So he goes to the bar to get a drink, while the kid is trying very hard to get his dad to wake up and take him home because he's kind of scared of what's going on. And this girl, she goes up and tries to, cash in on her new romantic love from her wish. But the guy has no idea what she's talking about because of the first wish. Nothing inside of the bar will be affected by the wishes outside, which is probably the most smartest wish anyone could ever think of doing in this situation. And if you don't understand why, we are clearly showed in the next page when the drunken father tries to storm out of the bar. It is an absolute, complete mayhem fest. I mean, some of this stuff looks cool. Unicorn flying horses, flying cars, rockets. But then some of it's not so great looking. Who knows what all these people have wished for, like specifically? Who knows what's going to happen here? And I am really, really intrigued in this story. Like, I can't wait to see how terrible of a mess this is going to be. And yeah, I just love we get to glimpses of everyone's, or not everyone's, but different wishes here. Someone can teleport. Someone has more money than they know what to do with. This lady can walk. This older man is young. This guy can fly. It's pretty neat. But then outside the bar, there are, Gundams, superheroes, rockets, monsters, or dragons. Yeah, this is definitely a wild ride. And in the next issue, we get to see what has happened in the first 8 hours of this mess. That's 8 Billion Genies. Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, and this really wonderful variant cover done by Declan Shalvey. Alright, my next number one issue is the Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood. I have been anticipating this for a really long time. We have... Marvel has been doing a few of these Black, White, and Blood comics, such as Wolverine and Elektra. And it's a pretty neat premise. Like, everything's done in black and white. The only thing that's in color is the blood, which kind of sort of gives me, like, the Sin City vibe. Anyone who's familiar with that story. Now, Black, White, and Blood is an anthology, so each issue will have different stories, and in each issue there's more than one story. So we have a good selection of artists and writers here, including none other than Jonathan Hickman himself, who has completely redone everything you know about X-Men, and going forward. I feel like Hickman's really created a new world of X-Men. So I was really excited to see that his name was going to be on a Moon Knight issue. And it's really cool. The art in it is fantastic. Stories are neat and definitely violent. Moon Knight does not shy away from the action. Yeah, it's really great. Oh, and I guess the only thing in color is not the blood specifically, but the red things, I guess. The things that would be in red. Which, is blood a lot of the times. And what's really cool is the second story features none other than your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And we get to see a couple characters. One person who I believe might be the Scarlet Scarab, or at least a person in red with a scarab. He uses it to contact Anubis. And it's pretty awesome. Got a giant-sized Anubis there. After the fight is done here, I guess the whole reason why Spidey came into the picture in the first place was he was looking to borrow some nice duds from Moon Knight for the Hellfire Gala, which is coming up very soon. And we got a nice little joke appearance from Deadpool, who was also coming to ask for Mr. Knight's suit. Yeah, 3 really cool stories. Third one features the Red Blade. And yeah, this was neat. I'm definitely gonna be eager to see the next issue. It would be cool to get these nice little snippets of Moon Knight, aside from the main storyline, which has been quite a bit since the next issue has come out. Actually, I need to ask about that. And before I forget, here's a really great cover that is done by none other than Bill Sienkiewicz, one of the co-creators of Moon Knight himself. So I thought that was a really nice touch that got him to do this cover. Alright, next one I have is probably going to be a real popular one. Captain America, Symbol of Truth, featuring Sam Wilson in his own Captain America adventure. Him alongside with the new Falcon. This is written by Tochi Onibuchi, drawn by R.B. Silva, the colors by Jesus Albertov, who are also the same collective team of who did the variant or the cover A for this. It's quite beautiful. It's a really neat story. Well, we get the Falcon and Captain America, and they are seeking a convoy that is allegedly transporting super soldier serums. We get a nice cameo from Misty Knight with Sam Wilson not on a date, as he says, or as she says. And yeah, it's pretty action packed. A lot of good opening ties here. We get to see Joaquin's sister, who is one of these many people trapped, part of the convoy. And looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. Alright, the final and definitely not the least of the new issue, the number one issue for this week, is none other than the Banner of War Alpha. This is going to be a crossover times between Thor and the current Hulk series, done by Donny Cates. And so this is written by Donny Cates and drawn by Martin Coccolo. And we have this really beautiful variant cover done by the team of Geoff Shaw and Federico Blee. Really love the colors and the wraparound. You get to see two different sides of this epic fight. Thor versus the Hulk. A colossus versus a god. And we start this off with the Watcher explaining that as the Watcher, it is his job to oversee big catastrophic events within a particular universe. And the fight coming up is definitely one that's on his radar. We have Thor, who has definitely some pent-up rage after all he's been through, losing his father, losing Mjolnir, and having his new hammer be embedded with his father's soul. Then the next contender, Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, who was accused for a rampage and decides that the world's better off without him, so he creates the Starship Hulk and flies as far away from Earth as possible. But unfortunately, he must answer his crimes. And Thor and this giant Goliath go at it like none other than they have before, crashing into other worlds. And yeah, it's fantastic. I really love this artwork. It almost makes me think of like JR's pencils. It's really cool. I really like this one a lot. The next issue under Thor comes out tomorrow, actually, for the 18th. And I really love this part. So they're like fighting, and we get this way too cool spread, video game style. And this is definitely the first round. First round of 5, I believe. There's going to be 5 different issues in here. And there's some moments where you think one of them gets the upper hand than the other. And then, you know, the tie's turn. We have Bruce connecting himself directly to the Starship Hulk, so he has full power to really go ham. And yeah, and yeah, it's this part's fantastic. He taps into his computer to give him the history of all the other times Thor and Hulk have fought, so he can study the techniques and know exactly how to win this match. It's awesome. It's great. It's incredible. Yeah, I love it. This fight's fantastic, and one more part I'll show with you here where, let's see. Oh yeah, so Hulk's got Thor down and he's strangling him, and out of nowhere, boom, Mjolnir comes back, crashing down, and Thor gets the upper hand once again. So many really fantastic spreads in this issue. Highly recommend you guys to check this out. Banner of War, Part 1. And definitely follow it. We'll be jumping between Thor and Hulk's comics throughout that. Next up I have here is one I haven't been following too closely, but after jumping into this one, I think I will have to. Coming out of Star Wars, this is the Halcyon Legacy, number 3, and I saw this gorgeous variant cover done by Annie Wu of Asajj Ventress, former apprentice of Count Dooku. If any of you are familiar with the Clone Wars at all, she is a major part for some of the seasons, and if you're not, I highly recommend you to watch the Clone Wars. All-time favorite Star Wars medium, like, of all. Of course, the original trilogy, you know, you can't really, like, compare anything to that, but yeah, the Clone Wars is fantastic, and this beautiful cover really got me. So, Halcyon Legacy, written by Ethan Sachs, art done by Will Sweeney. It's, I'm guessing, so it takes place, like, during the, Resistance era of the New Republic. But the Halcyon Legacy is, or Halcyon specifically, is a galactic starship that has been around for generations. And so the characters on the Halcyon currently tap into its history, and we get a nice little story all the way back during the Clone Wars of Anakin and Padme going undercover onto the Halcyon while it was in the ownership of the Hutts. And while they are undercover, they unfortunately run into none other than the assassin herself, Asajj Ventress. And her and Anakin really go at it. They always have great fights with each other. Nice taunting. Always loved her taunting. And her dual saber style. Yeah, Asajj is real cool. Real curious to see how this story's gonna go. I really liked this one, so definitely gonna check out the next. That's Halcyon Legacy. Now I'm near the end of my video here. I have Noctera, number 10. One of my most favorite comics currently. So in this one, we have the Sundog Convoy, and they have, with the guidance of Blacktop Bill, have made their way to Luna, which is a base where the Nocturnes were created. And the Nocturnes is what Blacktop Bill is. So him and his former crew were all created there to be the protectors of Eos, which is supposed to be where the light is. And that's where Piper can activate the big AM, so to speak. It's pretty. This was a real tight story. They like sneak in here, like crawling above a sea of megas, and once they get in, we almost see our heroes get the upper hand until the rest of the Nocturnes show up and literally stab Blacktop Bill in the back, which they weren't friends already, so I guess it's not like figuratively done. But yeah, we have William and Bill fighting for the name of the Bill, I guess. And yeah, it's kind of like a Mexican standoff. They're all about to kill each other. Piper's warned to go, but she's up top with her gun. And they have the HEPA tongue, which can connect them to the shades. And all power is taken out. All power is taken out, and the megas go ballistic. And apparently the next issue will be the conclusion of this story. So we'll see how that goes. And this came with a nice little preview of The Sins of the Black Flamingo, done by Andrew Wheeler and Travis Moore, which is seems to be some kind of story of a thief. I like how it shows here, and then keep your eye on those guys, because one of them isn't quite what they seem. And he's actually the master thief, known as the Black Flamingo. So that seems like a fun story. Now my final one, which isn't as much of a review, is the new Shang-Chi number 12. We'll do a little closer look into this one for my next video for the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This came out just in time while I was getting ready to do that video, so I thought I'd include that one into there. But I had to get this one with this real fantastic cover done by the team of Linnell Francis Yu and Romulo Farado Jr. We got Shang-Chi connecting to the Ten Rings, and this series is kind of more influenced, or I don't know if influenced is the right word, but takes some from the movie of Shang-Chi, with these types of rings and having them be a part of his family. So that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tune in very soon for some special Heritage Month videos. Well, for one Heritage Month video, I guess. But yeah, that's all. And until next time, keep on keeping on.